Welcome to your Around the Peninsula. I'm Specialist Tyler Ferris. For each branch of the military, training is all about preparing for any situation. Sergeant Tamara Thompson shows us how training with outside branches allows our troops to prepare to be team members worldwide.
The annual training exercise, Ssang Yong, is designed to demonstrate how different military forces work together to improve working relationships and strengthen the ability to conduct a wide range of military operations.
I'm here in support of the Manchu landing team, COC. We're basically the middleman between the ships, the air, and the ground, basically, and supporting them any way we can communication-wise.
This training involved the successful cooperation of the U.S. Navy and U.S. Marines to move equipment from offshore to land using a landing craft air cushion, or LCAC.
We're here in this operation to help build our relationship with the Republic of Korea and their military, and display and practice our amphibious operations.
The Navy creates a landing zone for the LCAC. The Marines are then directed to where they need to go. Once that is complete, the LCAC is directed back to the ship to gather more equipment.
During this training exercise, I look forward mostly to practicing my job and learning new parts of my job or other people's job, doing as much cross-training as I can.
Sergeant Tamara Thompson, Pohang, Korea.
This year's Ssang Yong exercise is the largest to date, with more than 13,000 service members in attendance. Soaring through the air can be exhilarating if you give it a try. Army Sergeant John Portella takes us to a place in Korea where a few soldiers experienced just that.
As the paragliding instructors prepare their gear for today's session, making sure that everything is in working order, participants wait anxiously to experience their first flight. Some have been waiting a bit longer.
We've been planning paragliding for about a year now, and it just never seemed to work out until today. We noticed some of the pamphlets for paragliding that were out and about on base and picked one up one day and thought it looked interesting and decided to give it a try.
Just before her departure to the top, Rachel had this to say.
We're expecting an experience of just a little bit of a thrill and something to take back home and talk about. I am so ready for today.
As everyone finally begins their journey to the top, it becomes apparent that there is no turning back. Just a short hike up a small hill becomes more of a reality once everyone sees the spectacular view and where they will be landing.
Don't ground. Don't look ground. Don't look at the ground.
While safety instructions are given, everyone begins to prepare for their first jump. Others give the thumbs up and are all ready to go. Taking the first jump isn't as easy as it may seem. But once you're airborne, the view takes your breath away and all is forgotten. For Rachel, the first jump doesn't go as planned either, but it doesn't stop her from wanting to do it again.
I'd say it's a great experience. Even if something goes wrong, it's still a great story that you have. I think we may do it again because they kind of offered us a good deal to come back.
Reporting from Zhongguang Mountain, I'm Army Sergeant John Portella.
To sign up for this or many other trips, visit your local USO. It's no ordinary march as these soldiers test their boots in a tradition that originated as early as 1900. Specialist Pedro Amador follows along from Camp Casey.
1,002nd Infantry Division soldiers assembled outside of Kerry Gym. They prepare to march the Manchu Mile. The 25-mile march honors the 85 miles the Manchus before them endured during the Boxer Rebellion of 1900. Woo! Amongst the highly motivated soldiers who can't wait to earn the coveted Manchu belt buckle is a troop who has been here many times.
This is my 7th one, up to the mountains and hardball roads and different types of terrains. The first 3 times I wanted to do it because I was young. I was a young staff sergeant. And I want to do the challenge, and now because I want my soldiers to see and that I lead by example.
Hernandez never had a problem completing the march, so he takes the steps to prepare his soldiers for the challenge.
Always motivating us. We ruck every Tuesdays and Thursdays with all full gear, exactly what we're going to ruck with. So I'm really confident that I'll do the 25 miles easily.
You won't fall out. You'll finish the whole 25 miles. My goal is for all my 25 soldiers to finish the Manchu Mile.
It is 2 in the morning and Hernandez and his soldiers return victorious to Kerry Gym, where the Manchu belt buckle awaits for them. Specialist Pedro Amador, Camp Casey, Korea.
Since 1926, the Manchu belt buckle is the only buckle authorized to wear with the Army uniform. In addition to responding to runway emergencies, crash recovery personnel also recover aircraft that have crashed in unusual locations. Staff Sergeant Jael Laborn takes us to the scene where one of these jets is being moved for disassembly.
When an aircraft crashes and can't be used anymore, what happens to it? Crash Recovery Team Chief, Tech Sergeant Bradley Parker explains how his team is using an old, crashed F-16 as a recertification and training aid to stay ready for real-world emergencies.
My mission today is basically to not only maybe have a little education to help these guys on some of the stuff I've been through, but also to learn a little bit and to get recertified so that way I can stay qualified and be ready to do it whenever I need to.
Keeping the runway active while ensuring the safety of personnel and aircraft is a huge responsibility. Crew Chief, Staff Sergeant Matthew Lawson, describes how his team makes it happen.
Crash Recovery's mission is to deal with all the in-flight emergencies. Unfortunately, when a jet has a mishap and crashes, we're the ones that have to go out there and secure it, make sure everything's fine, get the pilot out if need be.
Whether it's responding to runway emergencies, repairing tires, or providing maintenance services, this team is proud to contribute to the mission.
I love being a crew chief because you get that instant satisfaction. When you work on a jet, knowing that you did something, whether it was maintain it, whether it was take big parts like the engine out, put it in, and then you see it take off, you know you got the instant satisfaction that, hey, I was a very good maintainer. I did my job to help that pilot do his mission.
Staff Sergeant Jael Laborn, Kunsan Air Base, Korea.
Crash recovery personnel also specialize in providing maintenance on rare aircraft systems. Who's the master? Senior Airman Brandy Durr tells us why one man at Yongsan is the master.
A master driver is responsible for certifying and licensing soldiers to drive various vehicles. But more importantly,
he pretty much helps the commander to get drivers for his company to make sure that they can move at any time with their equipment.
sometimes his job can be
terrifying. Simply because I know what I expect when I'm driving, and to see them not do it, it's kind of scary, but at the same time, I know that they're training, they don't know any better.
Today, he's giving lessons on driving a bus.
Parallel parking. We did what's called parallel parking with a 40-foot bus. We also did what's called alley docking. My favorite one is the serpentine. So that's kind of a fun one because the soldiers really get frustrated with themselves when they hit a cone. It's quite funny.
Sergeant Leffridge is training the next generation of safe 8th Army drivers. Senior Airman Brandy Durr, Yongsan, Korea.
For more information on taking driving lessons, talk to your supervisor. Soldiers are trained on how to disable and destroy an enemy combatant. Army Sergeant Alan Brutus takes us to a competition in Seoul that's putting these skills to the test.
Soldiers from across the Korean Peninsula gathered in the Seoul American High School gym for a friendly competition of brute force and sheer determination. Today is the 8th Army Modern Army Combatives Tournament, and every command in 8th Army sent their best fighters to compete in each of the 7 weight classes. Everyone watched as the competition got fierce. After each match, points were counted and winners were crowned. The top 3 competitors in each weight class received a medal, and a trophy was presented to the 2nd Infantry Division, whose team performance was scored as the best overall. Army Sergeant Alan Brutus, USAG Yongsan, Korea.
The 8th Army Combatives Tournament is an annual event. And that was your Around the Peninsula for Thursday, April 17th. From all of us here at AFN, enjoy your evening.